Some of the biggest gains that you can make in the early stages of a major crypto bull market come from buying into brand new tokens that have just launched. Timing your entry and finding the very best coins, however, can be a challenge. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly a step-by-step tutorial to find major coins that are about to launch with a high probability of seeing massive success in the early days and weeks. I'm also going to teach you exactly how to time your entry and show you two coins that I've got my eye on that I think are going to have an incredible launch soon. So hit that like button and let's get into this tutorial video. Now guys, if you've been in this crypto market for at least the last 6 to 12 months, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why do you buy into new projects? Because many of the ones that have launched recently have just pumped and dumped on launch. And there's a very big reason for that. And there's a very big reason why right now times are completely different. This was a time before the US election, before we had retail money flooding into the space. And if you don't believe that retail investors are here, just take a look at the views on my YouTube channel, which have gone from like 20,000 views to just like 100,000 views within just the last few weeks. Because now, with all these retailers coming in, we've now got the liquidity and volume that we needed to support new launches, which is why some of these coins like ZRC here, since launch, have just been surging towards the upside. And if you bought this just a couple of days ago, you could well have been able to double your money or more. And these are the coins that we're about to go and find. Now, as I've promised, I'm going to keep this easy and beginner friendly so that you can understand exactly what goes on. So what we're going to do is jump across to cryptorank.io and we're going to click on IDO, ICO, and we're going to come down to where it says active. Now, these are projects that are launched now or kind of launching in the next few weeks. And we're going to do something very straightforward and easy, first of all. And we're going to think about what a new successful project might look like. Tell me what you think. And you might be like, well, it needs to be AI or it needs to be gaming or maybe it could be real world assets or something like that. And while narrative is obviously important, nothing is more important in this game of crypto than having a bit of money in your pocket. If you've got lots of money, when your project launches, you can pay for marketing. You can buy major partnerships with major crypto companies. You can get yourself on the biggest crypto exchanges and ensure that you have the biggest volume coming into your bags. These are three major things. So what do we do now that we know this piece of knowledge? We sort by total raise, and then we can think about something else. Something else that we need to know to get our projects onto major crypto exchanges is that we need tier 1 crypto investors. Here's a secret that you probably didn't know. Binance, OKX, Bybit, none of these companies will take brand new crypto projects that aren't backed by tier 1 venture capital companies, okay? You probably don't like it because it probably feels like it's pretty immoral and all that, but get off your high horse, okay? It doesn't matter. We're here to make money. If you can't beat them, let's join them. So how do we know who a tier 1 venture capital fund is? Go across to cryptofundraising.info and you can see this handy list. At the top, you got Coinbase Ventures, Animoca Brands, which I would probably say is maybe tier 2, but fine. A16Z, Polychain Capital, Pantera, Hashkey, Spartan, OKX Ventures, Dragonfly. These are all tier 1. Binance Labs as well. Alameda Research. Is that still going? And the good thing is, now we have that information, we can go down this list and look for funds and investors that are picked up on CryptoRank. This company here has raised $21 million, which is, pretty reasonable amount of money. And this one here has raised $17.9 million. Now, what I can do is just click on this plus 19 and see who's on the list. Okay, so number 1 here, tier 1, A16Z. We can cross-reference it with on our list. You can see it's in the top 4 over here. I would say it's probably top 1 or 2. Animoca Brands, yeah, tier 2. Amber Group, A16Z, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you can see this has a huge amount of backers. And I know that lots of people will be like, oh, VCs are bad. They dump on us. You are quite right. They do. Okay, but they also do something else that's very important for us. They dump at the start and then they inject the liquidity back into it. And they cause these huge, massive rallies towards the upside that cause all of the people looking at crypto bubbles every day to be like, wow, look at the size of that green bubble. I better go and buy that coin right now. And that's the FOMO that the venture capital drive into projects. And that's why new projects will typically see a little dip. And then suddenly the liquidity arrives and then it will pump towards the upside. And then later on, I will show you how to enter at the right time so that you don't get burned and that you can make gains when the VCs are pumping the money back in. Sound good? If it does, and you haven't already, smash that like button. Thank you. Okay, enough waffling on. You can see down below. Let's just check the VCs for the one below. Tier 1, Delphi Ventures, pretty good. You can see a big list of some pretty major ones here. The good news is as well, CryptoRank will give you the rankings of these different VCs to make it all very easy for you to see. Now we've got Balance and Rivals Network. So first things first, let's have a look at Balance, see what it's all about, see whether or not this coin is going to have a successful launch, bearing in mind that we already know that it's really well funded, it is likely to go on tier 1 exchanges, and is backed by some of the best VCs out there. And these VCs don't work with crap projects, okay? They're only going to work with projects that they know they're going to see massive returns on. So first things first, just click on the Twitter page, and you can see it brings us to this one here, 225,000 followers. Pretty big deal. Already being followed by a lot of different people I already recognize. These are influencers, etc., who may well start to talk about this project. Just so you're aware, for full transparency, I have absolutely nothing to do with this project or Rivals Network or any of the other ones that I'm going to talk about today. So what do we know? Now it's got a massive following of people who are going to get spammed by a lot of marketing that's going to go live on this. So a lot of people are going to get hyped and excited about this launch coming up. If you haven't seen it over the last year or so, think about those projects like Aether, like Peak Network, and all others that have had really successful launches in terms of lots of excitement behind them. They just launched a little bit early, didn't have the money that the markets have right now. Okay, so if those projects had launched now, I'm sure you would have seen them explode towards the upside. This, by the look of it, is going towards it. What's this about? The world's leading mass adoption focused Web3 experience infrastructure. Okay, who are they? Come down below. Web3 social gaming protocol. Does it fit into a key narrative? Gaming, absolutely. Okay, no brainer. Down below, you can see it's also AI-driven battle report systems. So far, this looks like it's hitting all the narratives with all of the things that we need in place. Now, you don't need to overthink it in crypto, okay, particularly in this phase of the market. Remember, most people don't really know what the F is going on. They're just buying what they see on videos, okay? If we understand that people just buy stuff they see on videos that looks nice and shiny and interesting, then that might help our cause, okay? 80 plus Web2 games have already been partnered up with. 90 plus Web3 games have been partnered up with. This to me looks like a pretty good one and will definitely make my shortlist for the reasons I've given you there. Now you can go into more depth. You can go and find out more about the team. You can go and see like what the services and things they're offering are. I recommend that you don't just buy this without going doing more research, okay? Go and research what exactly it's about, okay? But so far, it's in the right narrative. They've got lots of money. They're backed by the right VC. They're going to have a launch soon during a period of time when lots of retail investors are about who want to buy stuff. Sounds pretty good, right? And there's a very good chance that they're going to go live at the start on major tier 1 exchanges. Probably going to get OKX. Maybe they get Binance if all goes well, but Binance is a tricky one. And also just one simple thing, like look across the website, okay? Look at the quality of this website. These websites are like very, very damn expensive to build. Compare this to like other ones out there. It's not the only thing, but it kind of goes towards the whole package, okay? Professional websites, you know, it's just such an easy win, although they are kind of expensive, okay? So just have a think about things like that. Next up, Rivals and Network. We can see Rivals Network, 386,000 followers. I genuinely have never even heard of this crypto project until today. Maybe I need to get out there more. Have you heard about it? Let me know down below in the comments. The world's abstraction layer for AI and AI agents. Great trigger words. Everyone loves an AI agent. You'll probably realize that AI agents are going to be words that you're going to hear a lot through this bull market. And that's because many people are anticipating this being the next level of AI. After ChatGPT, we're going to move into an AI agent kind of era where things are going to go bananas, okay? And lots of money is going to flood into AI agents. And in the crypto space, AI agents are a very hot narrative. We had ARK Invest anticipating that AI agents would make up something like $30 trillion of the global market share by 2030. Something outrageous, okay? Don't quote me on that, but it was definitely in the trillions, and it was definitely after 2030. And it was definitely AI agents. Okay, here we are. World abstraction layer for AI. Now, earn a share of AI future, plus plug yourself into a new age. Come down below. Who are they backed by? You can see they also have like key partnerships and things like that. Now, obviously, go and understand a little bit more about what this is. And just simply come across, look at the blog, look at the vision. Really, when it comes to retail phases of bull markets, you need to be able to read this introduction and see whether the team are able to communicate what they're doing to the general public. Most of them can't particularly well, okay, unless they've got good marketing or good AI to write their kind of introductions. The rapid and exponential growth of AI agents presents unprecedented opportunities and challenges. Yada, yada, yada. You can see basically going down below, we're talking more to real-world resources, including digital assets, human interactions, decentralized physical infrastructure networks, lots of trigger words in here. The Rivals Network is addressing the challenge by building the world abstraction layer, a comprehensive infrastructure that bridges AI agents with the diverse resources they require. Okay, so what's an AI agent for those of you who are not sure? I'm just going to use this opportunity to explain something to you because you're going to hear these words a lot. ChatGPT is like a glorified Google. Go and ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Okay, it can't really think for itself. It feels like it's thinking for itself because it uses human-like language, but it isn't thinking for itself. Okay. However, if you have the next layer up, would be an AI agent. You're like, hey, ChatGPT, when a tax is due in the UK, and can you show me the form that is used for these taxes? And then you say to the AI agent, well, I need to fill in this form, but I can't be bothered to do that. Can you go and do that for me? And that AI agent, through a network like this, has then access to your paperwork, to your kind of taxation details and all the other things. Then what it does is it goes through all the data, all of the sales that you've been making through the year and all of the kind of profits you've taken and the staff you paid. And it takes all of this information, it puts it into the form and it's like, hey, mate, shall I submit it now? And you're like, yeah, thanks very much for that. So all of this like stuff that would normally have taken me weeks, or I'd have to pay accountants and stuff like that, is now going to be done almost instantly through AI agents. This network effectively connects up these AI agents to give them access to different things securely. Yeah, hopefully that's basically how this works. Go and read it in more detail if you wish. Okay, so what do we got? We got 2 projects in the right narrative that are potentially going to be launching soon. And if anyone is down in my comments and is like, hey, mate, when is this project launching? Every single damn day, people are like, when is it launching? When is it launching? I don't know. Look at Twitter, okay? This is where they want to tell you they're launching. Give them a follow, hit the notification bell on Twitter. And if you so wish, while you're at it, and if you fancy it, go and give the House of Crypto a follow on Twitter as well. And I'll obviously retweet these key events as they go. So if you don't want to go and look at all these pages and you just want to look at mine, then you can find out when these projects are launching. Okay, so when it comes to launch day, there are a few things that we need to think about. And we're going to use a recent launch as our case study for this, because if you enter the moment it goes live, you tend to get a bit screwed. Okay, and there's a reason for that. And we're going to use Peak as an example. Peak is a fantastic layer 1 ecosystem built for deep-in decentralized physical infrastructure networks. Again, a really interesting project that's been trending recently. Lots of people very hyped and excited about this one. And yet, this is what it did on launch. It pumped towards the upside. It then pulled back nearly 68% in a week. And now it started to pump back up again. We don't want to be buying up here. We want to be buying down here. But let me explain to you why this happens on a chart. Do you remember when I was telling you about all the venture capital funds who were investing in this project? Okay, or any other project. If you come down below where it says fundraising for Peak, just as an example, you can see all the different launches and money that they were raising at different valuations. Okay, 6 million here, 2.5 million here, 15 million here. Now, the project went live at an FDV, fully diluted valuation, something like $332 million. Now, these people would have been investing at more like a $10 million valuation. Okay, so when it goes live, they're getting an instant 30x. So you put in $2.5 million, you get an instant 30x on your $2.5 million, which is like $90 million, which is a lot of money. You'd probably want to cash out some of that as well. Fortunately, though, these companies are tied in. They can't just sell everything because then it would destroy the project. They have something called a TGE and a token generation percentage that they can release. Usually, it's something like 5% or 10%. So it means that I could sell 5% of my $90 million rather than the whole thing. But it's not really within my interest to dump the price because I still hold lots of tokens and therefore I don't want to sell too much. I'll just de-risk by taking a little bit of my money out at the start. And that's why you get these initial price spikes like this. Exchanges will use something called a market maker to pump the price like this and manage the money coming in. This is all the money that's coming in from retail who are pumped and excited about the launch because they're like, oh, when do I get into Peak Network? And they all want to keep buying and keep buying. Meanwhile, all the VCs are taking their profits up here. It's sad, but now you know better. Okay, this isn't just Peak Network. It also happened with Zirkit, the one I showed you earlier. You can see this big spike here. Okay, that is, again, retail investors trying to buy while all the VCs are trying to offload their money. But that's not all bad. Okay, this is why this is not all bad. The market maker's job here is to make as much money as possible and to put the money across into a big bag of money. Okay, so the big bag of money that is now partly owned by the market maker, but is now going to be used by the VC to create FOMO and drive more retail investors into it. That's why in the last few weeks, no one has talked about Peak. And yet in the last week, everyone in my groups have been talking about Peak Network. all of a sudden, okay? Peak Network's been talked about for months. I even talked about this project on my channel back in like March or April, and now all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, Peak Network, this is new. It's not new. The VCs have just injected more money back in, and now everyone wants to buy the green candles. So how the hell do we time our entry into these coins? Simple, okay? Now they're different in that Peak Network is different from the last one that we looked at. Now, what we would do is initially know when it was going to launch. Now, simply, all you're going to do is watch it on a 4-hour chart. And you don't have to time the exact bottom, but this is all you're going to do. A downtrend means that you don't buy, okay? You're waiting for it to turn into an uptrend before you buy. Because remember, at some point, the VCs are going to have taken all of their profits, and now they're going to start to inject that money back in. At the same time, this is still a fantastic, like, top-of-the-range product that we know it is because we've already seen it by sorting through over on CryptoRank. We've seen the ones that are backed by the best VCs who only back the best crypto projects. Anyway, come back to Peak. This is a downtrend. A downtrend is characterized by lower lows, lower highs. You can see it does this, right? It's doing this. And this is lower highs. These are the highs on top. Lower highs. Lower highs, lower lows, lower lows. Until all of a sudden, on a 4-hour chart, we see a peak that comes back above this previous peak. Okay, so here you would say, well, there was no peak. This was the last peak, and then there was another peak. Even here, it only comes back to level. It doesn't hold level. It comes back down. If it can go past level and hold support, maybe like this, then you have your entry. Okay, so this point is very, very damn key. Okay, we got a fantastic project here that goes way under value at the start. It scares people away. You can see it then has this key line. It breaks above it. It comes back and retests it, and it gives us a perfect entry. Peak Network is a top-of-the-range product. Just after it breaks that entry, it does 42% in just the last day or so. Now it starts to move towards the upside. Peak Network should see more upside coming. Now there's lots of VCs who are prepared to pump the money in. As soon as the markets look more buoyant again, I'm sure this will start to send. This isn't what I'm saying, though. I'm not telling you to go and buy Peak Network. Let's look at this one. This is slightly different because you can see something else. This is different, and I wanted to give you this as another opportunity because this one launched into a more buoyant market because it's launched just when? 25th, which is 3 days ago. It's even more exciting. And what is it? Okay, Zirkit, liquidity hubs, liquidity staking, already has $2.3 billion of liquidity staked on it. And I found this just the other day. I was talking about that tutorial on how to find coins that are going to list on Binance next. Now, guys, I know lots of people are in the comments like, how do I find that tab? Simply need to search for this address. It's dropstab.com/tab/Binance-potential. Okay, and you just use that, and then it's going to give you all the projects that are backed by Binance Labs that are not yet on Binance, which means that you have a significant chance of seeing some upside. And if you're subscribed to the channel and you caught that video the other day, then you would have caught Puffer before we talked about it, and it went up literally like 120% after that video. So if you caught Puffer because you were subscribed to my channel, congratulations. If you didn't catch it because you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to the House of Crypto so that you can do tutorials like this and find massive winners without having to listen to some YouTuber you don't trust, just to understand whether or not that person's telling the truth, because I will teach you exactly how to do this for yourself and understand what is really going on behind the scenes so that you can actually make money in crypto rather than just give your money away to VCs and other greedy folks. So anyway, yeah, I was searching just again yesterday. You search by the volume on here, remembering that Binance is probably going to list coins with good volume. That's how we found Puffer. That's how we found Heroes of Mavia, although Mavia has been around for a while. And then suddenly ZRC Zirkit pops up. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. What's this? Found out about it. Suddenly, this is a very interesting project, seems, that's just launched and gone live and then is suddenly exploding towards the upside. So if you'd been doing what I'm doing now a few days ago, you could have also caught Zirkit and you would have been able to pump some gains out of that. But considering that it did something a bit different on its launch, remember, again, it spiked up. VCs took their profits. It came down 55%. Never get caught in this, okay? Don't get caught in this. Be patient. Wait for the downtrend to end. Now, this is obviously a bit of a trend. We have lower highs, okay? But we can see that the highs go from here and then enter into almost higher highs. We can see that we're actually entering an interesting pattern here, an ascending triangle. Now you can see that this one doesn't run anything like the one before because we get the higher lows coming in. This is telling us that each time the sellers have exhausted themselves, the buyers are coming in. Eventually we break out of here. Here is our target to enter into this because we know, again, it's a fantastic project because we found it over on here. We can see that everyone's talking about it. It's backed by Binance Labs and other tier 1 VCs. Chances are it has a good launch after the VCs have got out. All we're trying to do is avoid this sell-off and get back in when everyone else is scared to, okay? So you can see we enter into here. If we'd caught that move, we would now be up 22, 23%, and that was just yesterday. When was it? 26? Today's 28th. Okay, so maybe in the last couple of days, we'll be up like 25% on this brand new launch. But this coin seems to be a very big hit, okay? Will it go massive? By the look of the website and look at what's going on, who it's backed by, this seems like a really top quality project, but hasn't really been picked up yet. It's still a bit under the radar. You can see, again, backed by pretty much all the tier 1 exchanges, Binance, Pantera, Digital. Okay, you can see them again, come across this list. Okay, Binance, Pantera, Dragonfly. Easy. Hopefully, this has been very simple for you to understand. Now, the good news, lots of these crypto projects won't just launch on Binance and OKX, but they typically launch on another exchange, which is called MEXC. And the best thing about using MEXC is the fees are incredibly low, and you can also get around 4,500 different crypto coins. I still use Bitunix, I still use OKX, and I definitely use MEXC. Fees incredibly low, and there's so many different coins available, you can almost guarantee any launching coin will be coming from MEXC. If you want to go and use MEXC and be in with a chance of winning this supercar and a $12 million prize pool, then make sure you sign up through the link down below in the description. If you enjoyed today's video and you found it valuable, let me know down below, okay? Let me know if I should do more tutorials or whether you do just want me to feed you coins and tell you what to buy, and you hope that I'm just being honest. And if you haven't already, obviously subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. I'm going to get my breath back, and I'll see you tomorrow in another video.